agree with me that scaling a fintech or whatever type of startup can be very, very challenging, at the same time very rewarding. So in your own opinion, what are some of these challenges that you see that fintech founders may have to go through in scaling up their business?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So some of the challenges that fintech founders or fintech or startups, as it were, who are focused in fintech will probably experience when they are thinking locally and trying to go global is regulatory. So I'll speak on regulatory, right? It is very important that whilst you understand your regulatory landscape on a local perspective, you should also understand the regulatory landscape of markets that you're looking to expand into. So a case in point is, or a strategy I would say you should adopt is to partner with local firms or local providers in those markets you're looking to expand to, engage them, leverage on their expertise to understand the core market needs, the behavioral patterns of the customers' problems you're trying to solve. And you can also go a step further to, try and see how you can employ one or two people who can act as foot soldiers for you so that you get first-hand knowledge of that market. That way you're more or less leveraging on the expertise of your partners and also getting first-hand information. That way you're able to build products that will enable you to achieve the product market fit, which is what everybody is looking to achieve. So I think that's one of the challenges you experience, and I've kind of highlighted an approach you can go around it.
All right, thank you very much. How about you, Mr. Amusan? Have you, in your own experience, have you come across such a dilemma of, what to do in scaling up?
All right, thank you very much for that question. I think he has said quite profound responses to that question. But most importantly, we also have to take note of the fact that there's an unbanked population out there. And when they're coming in contact with quite a novel solution that you are trying to put forward into the market, there can be some resistance towards such solutions. And you just need to find a way to make sure that, yes, the solution you're profiling is seamless, it's quite accessible, it's faster, and perhaps even cheaper for them to access wherever they are in the interlands, wherever they may be across the country. You must be able to make sure that such solution is quite targeted towards the right audience. So that unbanked population needs to be converted in the long run towards taking advantage of the solutions that you're profiling, and of course, making use of the value-added services that you're bringing on board to such markets. So the unbanked population, it's a very critical challenge that most fintech companies are continuing to face. And a good way around it is to make sure that you build trust and you make sure that such solutions are quite integrated into the needs of this target audience. And of course, localized partnerships, like he has rightly said. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Musa mentioned something peculiar about population. Yes, Nigeria has a wide scale of unbanked population. So in a country such as ours, Nigeria to be precise, over 200 million people, what role does population play in this, in helping, in scaling the fintech enterprise?
I think first things first, it just gives you a larger cake to share from, so to speak, right? But even though we have that number of people in the population side, we're about 200 million plus, right? A lot of that number, right, don't have access to or are financially excluded, if I can use the word, right? The internet penetration rate, digital adoption has actually skyrocketed because the demographic, we have a very youthful demographic in that population. So as a fintech, right, it provides you with ample opportunities that you can layer on. You should also look to see how you can partner with established institutions like the traditional banks, to leverage them, because at the end of the day, most of the youths who are here are more or less looking to see how they can start businesses, looking to see how they can collect payments from an online perspective, right? So they are looking for solutions that can help them achieve this, right? So you have a lot of SMEs, budding SMEs, one-man businesses that are coming up because of that demographic. traffic. So for you to be able to access them, find partnerships that gives you inroads from a distribution perspective so that you can reach these people, provide those solutions for them and solve that problem. And trust me, if you're able to do that, you're already, you've achieved product market fit. That's right here. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, let me just chime in. Talking about unbanked population, I like to see it from a very positive perspective, and that should be the direction that every fintechs out there should try to see things in this part of the world, in this market that each and every one of us we are trying to penetrate. Take for instance, for us, even at Vesti, we recognize that there is a huge market here in Nigeria, even in Africa, of people, rich talents that are needed even in the global space, and there is need to really tap into them, let them know what are those things that you need to start doing locally that positions you for even global opportunities. And that is what this panel is all about, making sure that you are leveraging every of the added resources, every of the necessary things that positions you well for global opportunities, and you're ready to, take that step forward and make sure you are the best at what you do, and you can compete favorably even with the best of the best in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco, across the globe. You are not just limited to this confine of a country where we are. So basically, the unbanked population for fintech companies, we need to take advantage of those population, the market, the target audience is very, very important for whatever we are doing. And for us at Vesti, we have identified that, and that has continued to propel us towards taking action steps, towards expanding our scope, taking advantage of these value-added services that are very beneficial to the unbanked population. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. At the point in your submission, you mentioned something about talents. But if we are very realistic, there's no how a startup or fintech, whatever, is going to scale up without having to reach out for talents, actually quality talent. So, like a talent, a startup, how can they actually recruit the best talents when they have to deal with some of the bigger companies out there? I'm talking about the multinationals, Microsoft and all that. Is there a chance of them competing for talents with these guys? The question is for you, yes.
All right, yeah. Thank you so much for that question. Quite an intelligent question, I must say. When you find the big guys, the big companies struggling to get the best talents out there, it's a very big challenge. When you're trying to get the right talent to fill in the right space in your company, in your organization. And most times from experience, we see that there are a lot of opportunities, but the right talents are in shortfall. There are a lot of opportunities out there, but when you even engage potentials and you access them on the skill level, on the balance, and you see, do you have the relevant skills that positions you for this opportunity? You find out that most people fall short of such opportunities, like they don't merit it. And then you find most fintech companies now, most companies generally, struggling to get the best of the best that are very limited to access in the market. So it's a big challenge, but it's important for companies to make sure that they stay true to what their mission is, they stay true to what their core values are as a company, as an organization, because you don't want to compromise such standards as a company, because they are yardsticks to really get the best of the best that will fit into your culture. You can get you can get someone who is having the right capacity, but it's not a culture fit. That is a mismatch in the first instance. So you must make sure that in the process of getting the best talent, you do not compromise on some standards. Standards such as a company, you have existing standards. You have values, you have culture that guides every of your activities, that guides the behavioral patterns of the humans of such organizations. And when you bring in a new talent into the system, within a very short time, they acclimatize. And they're able to settle into such rules. They're able to add value to what you're building. They're able to add, potentials to what you're doing. And before you know it, you are doing excellent things. You are competing favorably with even your competitors. So the question of getting the right talents to fill in roles in startups, in companies, and fintechs, it's a question that we will continue to answer, but then every company needs to really find their footing, making sure that they have existing standards, existing culture that guides them beyond capacity. Do you have a culture that when you bring in the right talents, they're able to settle in? Those talents also have personal values that guides every of their dealings, because these are people that will come in contact with your potential customers. They come in contact with your partners, different stakeholders, both internal and external, in the country and even beyond the shores of the country. So you want to ensure that these people that you are bringing into your system, into your company, you can be confident that they can be the face of your brand everywhere they find themselves. You can be confident that they will be a Lagos Startup Week and they will be your face here. And they will be doing what you have sent them to do as a company. That's the direction that fintech companies generally need to look at when we are looking at filling in roles, responsibilities within the companies to project the goals and aspirations of the company. Thank you very much.
It's amazing. You guys are Vesti, are some of the guys taking some of our talents abroad. Though. Yeah, so what do you think? You run a payments platform. So how has it been, managing that and looking at how the mobile and internet system, is there any sort of restriction in the level of mobile expansion and internet connectivity to that, as in the way it affects a fintech scaling up?
Okay, so if I hear you correctly, you're asking how infrastructure
yes,
and
how fintech
affects
mobility, other infrastructures enable or disable fintechs from scaling.
Yeah, so like we earlier mentioned, there's been an increased internet penetration rate. Everybody is mobile now. Everybody has access to internet, right? Unlike in previous years, right? So that has obviously had a bad effect on the infrastructure, because I won't say a bad effect, because I mean there were issues where infrastructure couldn't handle that volume or the pressure of the quick adoption of the digital adoption by the population, right? But that has been rectified to a certain level, even though it's not the best currently, right? But for us as a fintech company, right, we have leveraged this infrastructure. We've also gotten redundancies in such a way where we don't just have one fail-safe, or we're just reliant on one particular infrastructure or vendor or provider, as it were. We try as much as possible to have options so that if one partner is down or one infrastructure provider is down, you can always fail over or switch over to the other side, so that keeps you uptime, so that your customers don't experience any issues. Because for payments, right, the key thing then is trust. Today, everybody says fintech, fintech, fintech. But the most important thing is, if I use your solution as a fintech customer, right, it should do what it should do. I want to make a payment. I want to make a transfer. I want to keep money in my wallet and so on, right? For me as a customer, when I make that transfer, I want the recipient to receive that money. I want me as a beneficiary to receive that money instantly based off what you say. So in a situation like that, you don't have that leeway or yard room to say, oh, my provider is down, please wait for me. No, that way you're going to lose the customer, you've lost the experience, you've lost the customer trust. So it is very, very important that as a fintech or as a startup who is looking to go into fintech, you need to, while you work with the established infrastructure, you need to find ways to move those pieces so that when the main infrastructure is down, you can always have an alternative that can sustain you to when that main infrastructure comes back up. So that's what I think.
How about you, Amusan? Please, what's your response to this?
Yeah, the question of infrastructure is a very important one when you're building solutions, And for us at Vesti, just like at the international space, no nation can exist in autarky. Like, no nation can exist on its own. Everyone depends on each other to thrive, even in the international system. And the same thing applies even in companies, in interactions with different stakeholders, with different companies. And for us at Vesti, one of the things that distinguishes us is the fact that we also have strong partnerships with different stakeholders, with partners both within Nigeria and also in the United States and also other countries. And these partnerships for our products have been quite integral for the success we've achieved over time. So we see that these strong partnerships, our banking partners, our providers across different fronts have been able to position us well. And because of these partnerships, we're able to do more, even do better, do faster things that we can do on our own. And that makes us stronger. That makes us deliver on the mission that we've profiled to be. The missions that we've decided to say that, as Vesti, this is a mission to be the preferred provider of legal and financial services for immigrants across the globe. From the moment that they decide that they want to leave their home country to when they get to their destination countries and every moment after. That cannot be done by us alone. We have strong partners within Nigeria. We have strong partners across the globe that are helping us every day to achieve and deliver on this mission that we have set forth to achieve. And over a period of time, the success rate is there. Our track record continues to speak for us because of this reliable and strong partnerships. And of course, we cannot overemphasize the fact that there are also local partners that have continued to contribute towards making sure that we do not rescind on our decision to be the best at what we continue to do. So in the question of infrastructure, infrastructure continues to play a dominant role when it comes to the way companies, fintech companies, organizations deliver on their mission to their target audience, to the people that they serve across different spheres.
All right, thank you very much. Just to, before we end this conversation, I would like to ask one more question. You know, these days we have a lot of people wanting to go into tech, wanting to establish their own enterprises, you know, because especially last year, because everybody saw that, fintech was raining, and so a lot of people jumped into it and all that. So, but along the line, a lot failed. A few of them are still standing. So for yours has been around for a while. So in your opinion, what would you advise a fintech founder or a manager that is hoping to scale soon? What would your major advice be?
All right.
So for us at Seerbit, right, we more or less have a niche market. We are a Pan-African payment solution. And what we do is we are both an enabler and a player. And what that means is that while we also provide services from a B2B perspective, allow businesses collect payments and make disbursements, we also partner with established commercial or financial institutions to build the infrastructures that allow other players play. So just like I had said earlier, right, what we do is, because we're not just focused in Nigeria, we're also in about 12 African countries and counting. That number should expand to about 20 by the end of this year. So what we do is, when we go into those markets, we understand. Like in Nigeria here, we have the luxury of bank payments, card payments, USSD, pay by transfer, and all the fancy payment types. But in those other countries, we've understood the markets. While they say they have cards, they have bank accounts, and they have Momo, right? The customers over there have a particular type of payment method that they are used to. So what we've done is, go to those markets, partner with the banks, partner with the aggregators there, and build infrastructure that has allowed us to even go there and support the businesses. So my advice for you as a fintech or a founder who is here listening to me and my co-panelists, I would say, a key thing for you is understand the market. Yes, fintech is a large space. There's money there, like everyone believes, but understand the problem you want to solve. Have a niche market. Go for that market. If the model works for you, try and see how you can leverage on that same model in other markets. And also avoid the one-size-fits-all type of approach to expansion. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, Mr. Amusan, please, your take on this.
Thank you so much. For us at Vesti, we like to say we are a category leader in the migration fintech space. There are fintech companies, but we are a migration fintech company. And what does that mean? We are helping human and capital, enabling human and capital global mobility. That is, you can move with your money across the globe anytime, anywhere. And we are enabling that. And we have been able to develop what we call a proprietary tool that brings together migration pathways and financial services together on one platform, which is the Vesti Hub. And this is fast enabling people across the African continent to be able to meet their migration-related needs. That is, today, for the very first time, you and I can visualize our migration journey from beginning to the end for the very first time. Before now, what we have are companies that are solely into, perhaps agents, into helping people to move through one means or the other, or you just have fintech companies dealing with the financial services. But for us at Vesti, we've been able to bring together these two components of migration pathways and financial services together on one platform. And these are pain points of immigrants across the globe. They want to access money. They want to be able to move anywhere seamlessly without any glitches. And this is possible today with the Vesti app. With the Vesti app, you can access different pathways, such as education pathways. You want to study abroad, you can access international students' loan to study either in the United States of America or even in Canada. Today, on the Vesti app, you can book cheap flights, either local flights or even international flights. On the Vesti app today, you can access our visa concierge services. One of the very, very interesting visa services that we offer is a visa for people with extraordinary abilities. This visa is for people that are doing exceptionally well in their chosen field of endeavors, just like you and I. You're an entrepreneur, you're a founder, you're someone that has won several laurels in your field. You are so outstanding in your industry. You've published a book, you qualify for the US Extraordinary Visa. These are some of the concierge services that we offer at Vesti. We also have our wallet services, our card services. All these services I'm mentioning are pain points of immigrants when they want to move abroad or even when they get to their destination countries. Today, Vesti is solving that problem through the Vesti app. Today, we are able to solve those problems of immigrants across board. And we like to see ourselves as providing end-to-end support for immigrants. Like, we like to provide, we can handhold you from the beginning to the end, and we do not let you down along the way. Every moment counts in us helping you to meet these pain points that you face in your migration journey. And for funders out there that are looking forward to be standing out, to be outstanding, or even be the standard in your industry, wherever you find yourself, make sure you find your unique selling point. For us, is the fact that we've been able to combine migration and financial services together on one platform. That distinguishes us from every other fintechs that you may know. And that makes us a category leader as a migration fintech company anywhere across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. This has been a very wonderful interaction. I hope the audience were able to learn one or two things from our discussion. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you guys.
Thank you.